What is up, everybody on YouTube? So I'm here in my garage, shabang. Um, there's a lot of crazy shit happening right now with my parents opening up a new restaurant, so the garage is super packed. But I wanted to make this video because I realized how much of a dumbass that I have actually been over the last couple of weeks, and it actually arose to me. I realized this while I was watching a debate that Ty Lopez did with an entrepreneur named John Henry. And what struck me is what was really interesting is how much John Henry actually knew, but in contrast to Ty Lopez, how little he had actually achieved. And it got me thinking about my life, like, where in my life do I think I know, or I know better than other people, but when we just break down the results, when we break down the numbers, like, I'm actually falling very, very short. And I've come to realize that it's in a lot of areas in my life, like fucking my health, wealth, like, I think that I know so much about business and even doing, things like reading books. I think I know a lot about stuff, but in reality, if I really look at it, if I look at the raw numbers and the results, like, I'm not doing that well, like, compared to other people. And yes, you can say that you shouldn't draw comparisons, but ultimately, there is an aspect. Life is collaborative, like, we're all working together, but there's also an aspect in life that is competitive. It's a duality. And it got me thinking, over the journey of my starting businesses, doing YouTube, all that sort of stuff, getting into personal development, the times when I've grown the most is like when I'm able to smell the shit, like smell my own shit, be like, yo, this is bullshit. This, like, see my own bullshit and be like, I'm wrong. And the times in business or just life in general, where I struggle the most is when I think that I know stuff. And especially when I think that I know better than other people, and you look down on people, or you just get very arrogant. You just start thinking that you know everything. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Oh, that's just for the regular people. I'm smarter than that. I don't have to do that shit. And it's pretty scary because you can get in that mindset really easily, right? And I just realized that I'd been like that for the last couple of days, even the past for a while now. I've just been kind of in my own little bubble of a world. And yeah, I've been really busy working on my business, so I've been making YouTube videos. But I've also been just doing stupid shit, fucking around, partying, and being stupid, to be honest. And in that interview, it's really funny because obviously Ty Lopez is making more money than John Henry. Yet John Henry is the one who keeps saying in the video, "Are you gonna admit that I know more about you than business?" And I'm thinking to myself, well, what if he actually knows more about business? Then why isn't he making more money than Ty Lopez? And I'm looking at myself and I'm like, if I know more about finance and running a business and making money, then why am I not making, what I mean? Like, why doesn't that reflect that? And I think I've come to the conclusion now. It's that it's not really about what you know. It's about applying what you know and being open-minded enough to fucking accept that there's things you don't know, and that perhaps if you go out and actively seek those things, it'll actually improve your life. I think that being proudful and having a closed mind is much easier. It's much easier. It takes less effort, takes less energy, because then you can just be like, oh well, this is just how it is. I know everything. That means you don't have to expend energy to go out there and find out what you don't know and how to actually improve your life. Like, for me, for example, when I switched my eBay business, I was making like, we were making good money, but we decided to switch because it wasn't scalable what we were doing before. So we were making like 10K a month, and we literally dropped down to making negative money because we're restructuring everything, restarting the business. So we went from 10K a month to literally minus 6,000. Like, we're spending 6,000 a month. And it was only recently that we started to, like, pretty much last month that we broke even and actually made a profit. And then, I just started getting cocky because in the beginning I was doing research. I was looking up all the tips and tactics. I was, very open-minded. I even, like, outsourced some of the stuff which I'd never done before. And, it just kept me in the flow. And because I was willing to say I don't know anything about this new business. I really, like, spent the time and energy to find out more. But I realized that after last month, after I saw that we broke even and we were making profits, and this month we're making profits, that started to slow down. I started to get cocky. I started to go out more and like party. Just spend less time actually doing research and working on the business and working on other businesses. And so it just made me think when I was watching the interview, and it made me, like, look at myself too, like, why or what is happening with my life. So I decided to make this video because maybe there's some of you out there who might have this similar realization that, what, I know all these things, but my life is not that much better. Or that maybe this video will make you realize, like, oh shit, fuck, maybe I actually don't know as much as I thought I did. And maybe I should be more open-minded. So this is the bottom line, is that I have to be more open-minded, because when you're open-minded, you're able to, receive more information. It's people with closed minds that they're just, like, stubborn and set in their own ways. It's like the two trees. There's one tree that snaps in the wind, and the one tree that bends because it just goes with the wind. And it creeps up on you how fast your ego builds and your pride builds. You in the beginning, you don't know anything. You'll do anything to get the information. You'll ask people who are about their business. You'll be so interested, and you'll be so genuinely interested. But I noticed that me personally, I would be, like, less interested. I'll be like, oh no, I don't need to listen to that. I already know that. But in reality, I really didn't, and I just came to that realization right now. So that's pretty much the whole video. So yeah, guys, I've just learned how much of a dumbass I actually am. Hopefully you don't make the same mistake. That's why I wanted to make this video, really, is so that you guys who watch the YouTube videos can realize that, maybe I should listen to my parents, or I should listen to, like, this guy who might have a good idea. Because oftentimes in business, you have to be headstrong, and you have to be like, no, this is it. And sometimes it is a good thing, because you're not, you're listening not to the naysayers. But, maybe sometimes, though, you gotta let it in. You gotta hear the things that you don't want to hear, and you have to make the changes and the corrections that you don't want to hear. And you have to be genuinely interested in people, especially if they're doing better than you, and especially even older people. They might not be making as much money as you or whatever, but they've been around. They've seen things. So I think that the moral of the story here is just generally have an open mind and be respectful of other people's opinions, even if it's not. Even if they're wrong, I don't think that there's anything good in you being closed-minded and just telling people they're wrong. By having discussions and conversing with them, maybe you can learn something, even though what they're saying is wrong. Maybe you can learn something about yourself, or learn one side of maybe something that supports your argument even more. Something like that. So that's pretty much it. Just keep an open mind. It's not a good feeling when you realize how much of a jackass you've been. But it is a good feeling at the same time. So hopefully you guys are able to realize where you're, some of the things that you're maybe missing out on because you think you're right, or you're being headstrong. That's pretty much it for this video. Tune in. I'm gonna be posting more regular content of reviews and stuff, so look forward to that. The next video will actually be a review on a personal development program I did that was really helpful. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe for more. As always, we're still open for the Millionaire Mastermind. We haven't hit 100 people yet, so if you're interested, you can also click the link down below. And have a great day.